All right, this should be a pretty quick video on variation on the Ecoflow battery hack. So there have been plenty of videos by others. Jasenoid, there's a trick for that. Vicious Computers, as well as Reddit post, basically on how to use a resistor on the data pins to get direct access to your Ecoflow battery on the expansion port. They all are very helpful. I wanted to share a small variation the way that I did mine. So first, let me say this is not a tutorial. Working with high voltage batteries, especially that they can be dangerous. Do not try this at home unless you know what you're doing. So with that out of the way, what I did is I just bought a 40-inch extension cable or 1 meter extension cable, cut it in half, terminated lugs on the power ends, and then on the data pins, figured out which ones are the ground and the battery switch, and basically put a switch on that instead of just the resistor. I was going to wire a resistor in as well, but it turns out the switch has an LED in it that happens to be close enough that it will turn it on anyway, so I didn't actually need to use a resistor. The pins are labeled on the plug in the Ecoflow. Again, all this is covered in other videos. This is not supplanting that, just adding. So with each of these, basically, you could turn the output on and off with the switch. So it should be a little bit safer and a little bit more convenient. So to demonstrate here, the switch is off and this breaker is off as well. You can see there's no battery voltage. And if I flip the switch, you'll hear the relay click. And 52.7 volts on this side. We do the same thing for the other Ecoflow. This is 2 Delta 2s, but there are plenty of systems that can work on. So it is one-handed, but no voltage. Again, that breaker is off. Flip the switch, hear the relay click, and now we got 52.6 volts. So the voltage across this is only about 0.1 volt difference, close enough. So we can flip the breaker and have them connected. So this is not revolutionary. I think Vicious Computers has a really nice setup where he uses a whole enclosure, and he does a switch on his resistor as well. The other thing he does is connect both the pins 5 and 6, which are both ground, and depending on which power station you have, depends on which of those need to be grounded. With these Ecoflow Delta 2 units that I have, it appeared to be that it worked with either of them, but your mileage may vary. Again, don't do this unless you know what you're doing, but this way is cheaper than the WattCycle cable. You get 2 cables out of it. These switches are pretty cheap, and it lets you turn on and off each side, which is pretty handy if you were going to go to a bus bar or however you're going to expand the system. Thanks for watching. Take any feedback in the comments. Hope to see you in the next one.